How's it going, Radical viewers? Gaddy right back into it with another Legends of the West video. Now, this actually started getting my attention the moment I had a second comment doing it. So, I've had two people now comment about the historical accuracy of some of the guns featured in my videos. About, primarily, these only two, Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday's guns and what they actually used in the OK Corral gunfight. So, right off the bat, you know what, kudos to you guys, you've done and give me inspiration. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm actually going to go in, I'm going to actually make Wyatt Earp's Schofield. Or at least to the best of my ability, I can make it from what little historical accuracy there is in this. As, it's still kind of widely debated what he actually used, though most out there do agree that he did in fact use a Model 3 break-action Schofield. So we're going to go and make that. And a big thank you to Wyatt Harton for actually giving me the inspiration to look up this information and find out for myself. Now, that all said, let's go ahead and make this gun, shall we? Now, sadly, again, getting this historically accurate is almost technically impossible, as this is widely debated to this day about what he used. It is most commonly agreed, though, that the thought that he used a Colt bunt line is actually a myth perpetrated. God, my gun is dirty as all sin, dear sweet lord. That used a bunt line was actually a myth perpetrated by both himself, Wyatt Earp, in his own biography, and I believe his ghostwriter. But it is widely accepted that he was given a Model 3 Schofield just before the, I think it was a week before the OK Corral gunfight by John Clum, who was its original owner, back when it had pearl grips. At least I believe so. Someone's going to hit me with a historical accuracy, Nick, and check my privilege on being a gun nut. I know they are. Now, that all said, this is the best photo I could find, and it's an exact replica, quote unquote, of the gun Wyatt Earp did own. So let's go ahead and throw that up real quick, shall we, before we get into the video and how to make it. Now, again, I'm going to use the word supposedly a lot in this video, but supposedly, this is a replica of what Wyatt Earp actually used. And my god, if it ain't pretty as sin. Look at that sucker. It's fully nickel-plated, beautiful engravings. And again, what little research I was able to actually come up and find about, be it his biography, his ghostwriter, John Clum himself, like, this stuff is so wildly up for debate, it's insane, and it's debated to this day, and I find it hilarious. That all said, if this is the best I got to work with, it's the best I got to work with. And by all means, if you have a link or something that points to something that truly says and shows what Wyatt Earp's gun truly looked like, by all means throw it in the comments. I would love to look at it. That all said, we need to get into making this thing. God, that thing looks scary as all hell. I'm not gonna lie. And another fun fact, one of the reasons why this is up for such wild debate is the fact that the Schofield revolver supposedly used by Wyatt Earp was originally owned by John Clum, and people are having a heyday with that about whether or not Wyatt Earp truly owned it. Fun little bit of history, and it was an interesting read, I'm not gonna lie. I said, let's recreate this shining peacekeeper, shall we? Now, of course, we are going to have to use our Model 3 Schofield from my Charlie Prince build in order to do this, which makes me a little sad, but if I feel bad about it, I can just change it back to this just about dead-on accurate version of that gun that I can. And thankfully, this is a very, very simple build. And whether or not it's truly historically accurate, say for the actual model of the gun, again, that's up for debates. Like, moments like that were so long ago that it's hard to pinpoint with any real accuracy, say for like model and potentially barrel length, of what was actually used by these literal legends of the West. I mean, legends. These people actually existed and actually did get into some of these gunfights, and it was amazing. And Hollywood really made it even more amazing because that's what they do to make money. Let's get into the build, shall we? Again, very simple. And honestly, really the only thing that we need to do is take the gun and nickel plate everything. And I mean everything for that picture. Barrel, cylinder, frame, hammer, sights, and of course trigger. Oh, dear sweet lord. And of course we have to give it some engravings. I'm going to throw it black on real quick just to be able to see kind of what I got going on here. If I could find something that sort of, maybe matches what I saw. Honestly, it's up for debate. And we're going to go ahead and nickel plate that too, for the simple fact that, much like the gun I made for the shootist used by John Wayne in that video, this gun isn't exactly inlaid with its engravings, it's just carved in. Like, the bare metal underneath is kind of showing. Like, this was engraved and then nickel plated almost. I thought this kind of gives it that nice look. And it is a nice gun. So much so, I gotta take this and go find a bounty or do something ridiculously lawful about it. So that's it. That's at least some historical accuracy, I suppose. Again, being historically accurate about this wasn't my original intention. I want to take guns used in the movies and make those. And I thought I announced that loudly enough, but someone has to go ahead and slap me with, he actually used this back then or whatever. And even now I sound kind of salty about it. And part of me, yeah, I'll admit, I kind of am. But that said, I look at this as another opportunity. I look at it as a reason to just go back and go, you know what, I can make a video on this. I can do this. Honestly, I should thank that man. I'm pretty sure I did actually thank that man, Wyatt Harton, for bringing that to my attention and actually making me kind of want to look this up. So kudos to him, and kudos to, as I scroll up to see the name again, Ashton Arnold, for pointing out how Doc Holliday's guns were both double actions. Now, he's not wrong. Doc Holliday back then actually did have two Colt double actions. That would be the Colt Lightning and Colt Thunderer, if I'm not mistaken. And in the Tombstone movie, he uses one of those two, but he also uses a single action army. And because the Colt Thunderer and Lightning look so closely resembling the Colt single action army, I just used the Cattleman for both of those things. Because they were pretty damn close, other than the fact they were double actions. Now, that said, it's guys like him, it's guys like Wyatt Martin here, that give me inspiration. Like, yes, their comments can be taken as potentially negative. I mean, even one of them flat out says, I don't mean to be that douche. And dude, you're not a douche. Like, I love comments like that, and I love feedback, even if it does seem to be coming off negative. Because that just inspires me further. It inspires me to make videos like this, and I love doing it. I love looking up this information. I really do. Like, I honestly didn't know Doc Holliday, back in that time, the actual person, didn't actually use single action armies. I didn't know he actually used double action freaking revolvers made by Colt. I didn't even know they even had those around, and whether or not they were actually widely available. Turns out they were. Doc Holliday apparently had two of them, and a Derringer. Go friggin' figure. It's kind of a shame we don't have Derringers in Red Dead Redemption. That said, I'm rambling. I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you did, a great way to showing it is liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and by all means, leaving a comment with either a request from a movie or the historical accuracy of some of these legends of the West, or an outfit. I'm open to all. Thank you all for watching. Till next time, kids, take care now. Bye-bye then.